I learned I consider that some of like my real time in the trenches with associations. Like implementing an AMS system, you get to see all the dirty laundry, all the issues, all the challenges, all the infighting politics. You really learn what's important to people, what's valuable to people, where they're gonna fight their battles.
Mm.
Because what we've seen is that so many of the folks that came to us in 2020 or came to us in 2021, they took a lot of those functions on in-house and started learning how to offer more than just hey, we've got a webinar we do once a month. Oh, and also we sell the recording of this, talking head in PowerPoint to like 3 people every month. But actually turning those things into more marketable evergreen programs, courses, microlearning certifications, and expanding that into true ongoing member benefits is really where I would point to with the evolution of that stuff. A lot of this goes to, first of all, what kind of data do you have around what your members are actually looking for, what they want to have? Are you putting the right stuff out there? Are you making it accessible? And are you making, are they finding it correctly? And that speaks to how good is the reporting in your system? How good are the visualizations in your system? Uh, is it overwhelming, even if it is good? How do you make sense of it and how do you use it? So again, we're kind of inching our way towards the AI conversation here. But how do you manage that and how do you recognize, okay, this signal in my data means this action should be taken? Um, and uh, then taking that action and implementing it and making sure that it's coming out in whatever the right channels are. And I love to see when the channels are really cross-functional, not just like, oh, this webinar we had last month was really popular. Let's do another webinar on that topic. But looking at the not just online on-demand learning channels, but the in-person events and the seminars and the conference and all the various different ways that organizations can provide learning and turning those into, even through the learning channels, different micro learning opportunities or rolling into a certification program, scaling it to smaller, more bite-sized chunks or more robust, involved programming. If I'm doing micro learning, then I want to have, or I'm doing any learning, I want to have a tangible outcome of some sort for that. And whether that is like, oh, okay, I got something out of that that I can use tomorrow in an email I'm going to write, or whether that is, okay, cool, I got that little badge and this is the next micro learning I should do. Something that helps me know, this is a adding a value and worth continuing or worth doing. There's a couple levels of where the question happens and how it gets implemented in a practical day to day. And first is just kind of like, okay, well, what's the product roadmap that we're committing to? How are we serving these markets? How are we focusing our efforts? Then there's like, okay, who are we going to market to? And I feel like on the ground, the most variable part of it is who are we having the conversations with? And that can actually vary quite a bit when you're, when you've got sales responsibilities and
Yeah.
quotas and things like that, because what you're actually doing is you're seeing variation in terms of the importance of these functions for the various different groups. Like if one organization has a revenue under 500,000 and another organization has a revenue under 500,000, they could have wildly different programs and focus and priorities.
Hmm.
One of them may have 90% of that revenue coming from learning, the other one might have 5.
Right.
Um, and so that's where it really is, like I said, there's a lot of variability and you can't just kind of like blanket make those decisions. Um,